Bonjour à tous les amis, j'espère que vous allez bien. C'est vrai, ça fait longtemps que je n'ai pas fait de vidéo, mais j'ai réussi à vous trouver quelque chose de très intéressant pour pouvoir vous refaire une vidéo. Un objet de vidéo très intéressant et justement, s'il y a bien quelqu'un qui peut vous donner de l'expérience, quelqu'un qui connaît mieux que le boulot, que personne, c'est bien une légende du catch. Et donc du coup, j'ai fait mes recherches et j'ai pu justement avoir cette légende du catch présente avec nous aujourd'hui. Mais avant tout, j'aimerais vous présenter désormais celui qui va nous accompagner avec l'équipe. Monsieur Kevin, bonsoir. Et en parlant de la légende, j'aimerais tout simplement accueillir le livre des légendes en personne, plus de 30 ans de carrière de catch, 30 years career of the legendary Joe E. Legend. How are you?
Thank you very much for having me on. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm finding you.
I'm getting by. Getting old, but getting by.
Okay, okay, okay. Um, no problem for the theme song of Joe E. Legend. He is disponible of the debut of this video, so no problem for begins this theme song. Um, um, so one question, the first question of this interview for Joe E. Legend. Joe,
Yes.
you already have a name that not familiar to anyone in the wrestling world, but there must be people we know you and you can run for anyone who want to know more about you.
To know more about me, I mean, as with most people, there's a Wikipedia page. I know that somebody got on there and mixed up all my information and said that I'd been married 2 or 3 times and had a bunch of kids and all this stuff. So I went on there and corrected it. And then a couple days later, the same nonsense from the first time. So I corrected it again, and I think all that information is uh, currently correct. But I mean, somebody might have gone. I don't really look my own stuff up much because I know my information. I don't have to. But to find out more about me, there's that. I have a Joey Legend Facebook page. There's several because I have my wrestling page, my author page. There's a few fan pages out of Turkey and stuff like that. But the main Joey Legend page is Joey Legend, and it says it's got a picture of me with a white background and the belt I won in Japan on it. So if you want to look my stuff up there, that's an easy place to look it up. Plus, there's tons of stuff on YouTube.
Ok, ok. So, Kevin, tu veux rajouter quelque chose? Tu as une question particulière à poser à Joe?
Franchement, je peux continuer à regarder.
Okay, two questions for Joe. How hold the federation that you have participated in your 30 years of in your career event at the summit we need friends to support each other who supported you for you to get there today.
Well, when I started wrestling, I was trained by Ron Hutchinson and Sweet Daddy Siki in Toronto.
Okay.
And they gave me a position there. It was unofficial, but I was kind of their main trainer because I was the first one to get out of there because I helped train the son of Tiger Tiger Ali Singh. I helped train him for a bit so he could go to Japan. And I did a good enough job that Tiger got me booked in Japan. So I'd only ever had like 3 bookings ever, and then I was off for FMW in Japan, which was all, chairs and barbed wire and all that kind of thing. So Sweet Daddy Siki, because he's friends with Tiger, kicked open doors to Japan for me. then Japan kicked open the door for in Canada for Winnipeg, which I went to like 22 times for Tony Candelo's promotion out there, and that kicked open the door for me for South Africa.
Okay.
And the more I did there, I ended up helping get Edge and Christian some bookings here and there,
Okay.
and Edge and I were tag teaming in Ontario, and a promoter from Detroit was there refereeing.
Okay.
And so he was kind enough to give us a shot in Detroit. Well, we ended up doing a lot of business in Detroit. We were there almost, like, for a while, we were going every 2 weeks. And while we were in Detroit, that's where I met Rhino. And, you know, it's not a secret that Rhino and I have been, like, really good friends forever. I was best man at his wedding, and I just consider him one of the best people I know. So that kicked open doors. Then Rhino kicked open the door for Germany for me, because there was one guy who was meant to be on a German tour, and he couldn't make it. He had some legal issues. So they were asking him, hey, do you know anybody? And he said he recommended me, so that got me into Germany. And all that experience got the attention. When Edge and Christian got into WWE, they pitched me to WWE. And they're like, yeah, but, you know, who's he, blah, blah, blah. And they said, well, he's done Japan a couple times, and he's done South Africa and Germany, and he's all over the shop. And he's like, oh, well, if he's all over the shop, maybe we should take a look at him. So that's what got me into there. So it's not just one person who kind of sponsored me through, but it's a series of events. It's kind of not what you know, who you know. So that kind of baby stepped me periodically here, there, and everywhere. Because WWE ultimately got me. When I finished with them, I went to England right away, and then from England, I got WWA, which got me TNA, which got me Japan again for a different company. You see how it all kind of stacks together?
Ok.
Yeah.
Ok, les amis, vous avez bien entendu, il y a quand même 3 gros noms de légendes où je vais réénumérer parce que pour ceux qui comprennent pas l'anglais, je suis aussi là pour pouvoir vous permettre de pouvoir le comprendre, tout comme Kevin. Et donc pour ceux qui n'ont pas entendu les 3 légendes qu'il a citées, je suis là avec plaisir pour vous les réénumérer. Alors il a parlé tout d'abord d'un grand ami à lui et qui remercie évidemment pour sa carrière et pour tout ce qu'il a apporté au catch. C'est évidemment The Rated R Superstar Edge. Ça fait déjà un très gros nom, Kevin. Kevin, ça fait déjà un très gros nom.
Très gros nom.
En deuxième, il a parlé du meilleur ami justement de Edge. Il a parlé du capitaine du charisme. Il a parlé de Christian. The Captain Charisma, Christian himself. Ce n'est pas n'importe qui, les amis, mais surtout, il a parlé d'un homme, un homme avec lequel il est devenu champion par équipe. Déjà, ce n'est pas rien, mais c'est surtout son meilleur ami. Donc, ce n'est pas rien non plus. C'est la légende hardcore. C'est The Main Beast, l'homme bête, l'homme à la partie bestiale, la bête humaine en personne. C'est Rhino. Rhino, Edge, Christian, good legendary superstar. You betrayal, you debut in this wrestling world.
I helped. I can't say I'm the only one, or that, you know, like Ron Ron Hutchison is one of the best trainers ever. So, I mean, Ron, obviously, and then Siki, he's such a great details guy. Like, they're great trainers. They allowed me to be able to help on that. I wish I could take full credit. I can't. I was one who helped them along, and I got them a lot of bookings because I was out first. So I was out in the modern wrestling. I mean, Ron and Siki were not out in the modern wrestling world. They were running the training center, and there wasn't a lot going on in Ontario. So they weren't able to find a lot of bookings for us. Whereas because I've been in Japan and South Africa and all this stuff, I was able to kick open doors for myself, and I made sure to kick open doors for these guys along the way because they're my buddy.
Ok.
And you know, it worked out. But I'm one of many who had a hand in helping.
Ok. Kevin, on peut continuer ou tu as une question que tu aimerais particulièrement lui poser?
J'ai une question, ouais.
Vas-y.
So, Joe, you said that you traveled in Europe, in America, and in Japan.
Yes.
We want to know how this traveling helped you in your career.
Well, I've done 46 countries so far.
A lot of countries,
36, donc il a voyagé dans 36 pays différents.
Yeah. So, I don't know, just for a personal human experience, I understand the world better than I probably would have if I just stayed in Ontario and only know what the news told me. I mean, ultimately, I live in Germany now. So it's, if I hadn't branched out, I probably wouldn't be living in Germany. I wouldn't have my kids. I wouldn't have met my missus. My life would be very, very different if I hadn't traveled. Also, because I did martial arts for years, I have black belts in karate and kung fu and all that. And my martial arts was based out of Okinawa, Japan. So I kind of, since I was 10 to 20 when I took martial arts, I wanted to go to Japan because of my martial arts background. And yeah, I finally got to go. And now I've been to Japan 15 times, and I love it every time. It's just a great experience to go there and to, you know, obviously you got to hit Rivera and get your coat. You gotta hit Korean barbecue, which is my favorite restaurant over there. But Akira Taue has a steakhouse which has the absolute best steak I've ever had over there. I've made good friends all over the world, and it's lowered my personal defense on other cultures because usually other cultures come, they seem a little strange, you kind of hold people at bay. But because I've experienced so many cultures, I'm more welcoming to people just to be friendly with them. I don't have my guard up as much. So I think it's helped me to be a more open person. So from a human standpoint, absolutely. And from a wrestling standpoint, styles change so much from territory to territory that it helps me to become a more complete wrestler. I started really possibly before the internet, at least before the internet was a big factor in wrestling. So pre-YouTube, like, there wasn't a lot of wrestling to watch if it wasn't local or if it wasn't WWF, like national. So I was able to go out and learn different styles in all these different territories and not just watch them on YouTube and then apply them to the shows I was on. I went out and learned from the guys who did these styles. So I think I have a more comprehensive knowledge of various styles throughout the world.
Ok.
It helped you a lot. Vas-y, prochaine question.
Ok, alors quatrième question. For Christian, for Joey Legend. Alors, so among the titles that you have been able to win in your career that you have resented when you are going from pretender or challenger to the face of the company.
Sure.
Joe?
So yeah. Okay, so you want how I maneuver that? I'm not gonna make sure I understand the question. How do
Qu'est-ce que tu
I
veux
move from,
demander?
how do I work my way up the card?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you're resented to begin your career, you be a champion now. You will go defended your title each and every show. Weren't you resented?
Well, what's helped me was that when I broke in, I'd only had 3 matches ever, and then I went to Japan. So when I came back from Japan, the dirt sheets. We're all talking about guy from Toronto, gone to Japan, wow, wow, wow. So that helped promoters to take me more seriously as opposed to just some new guy who's asking for work. They were the ones calling me because, I mean, I wasn't nearly ready. I was green as hell. But they were looking at me as, oh, this guy's a star in Japan. So I was able to kind of backdoor my way into being taken more seriously by promoters. And I've always, maybe it's just because I came into the job in the 80s and stuff. 80s had a lot of real crowd work, getting the crowd rallied. I wasn't, guys today kind of, the style is wrestle, do a bunch of stuff in front of them and hope they applaud the moves. Whereas the guys in the 80s were more drawing the crowd into doing everything. And I come from that background, that school of thought. So when I would go out there, I'd usually get really good reactions from the crowds. Even if I didn't do a lot, I usually kind of overworked. I did more than I should. But I always got good reactions from the crowds. And when a promoter hears that, a lot of promoters don't even watch the show. They're in the back handling business, but they're listening. And when they hear the crowd constantly rallying and cheering or clapping or chanting or just being involved, when there's not a lot of silence, they tend to go, oh, I got to use this guy more. Because this guy, obviously the crowd's getting their money's worth because the crowd's engaged, they're involved. So because I've been able to engage the crowd, because that's, like I said, that's where Siki and Ron brought me into the job. That was what I was a fan of when I came into the job. That helped promoters to take me seriously as a guy who was a money's worth player. And if you're a money's worth player, they'll tend to start putting belts on you and making you the face of the company because people are so engaged when you're performing. And the more places I travel, the more international I look. Like if I go to Cleveland, for say, if I show up in Cleveland and they get to put on the poster that Joe's been WWE and TNA and Germany and Japan and Portugal and Spain and France, and they can run down my list of, just throw my resume up there. When I show up in Cleveland, Cleveland goes, oh my gosh, this guy's been everywhere. He must, if all these promoters are paying for him to go all these places, he must be valuable. So the poster, my resume kind of sells me before I walk out through the curtain. Okay. And I just had the benefit of coming out through the curtain with Japan on me for most of my career when I first started. So that helped jumpstart me in. And then, since then, obviously WWE and TNA on my resume, people get to put that on their poster. Former WWE, former TNA, they love putting that on poster because that even if people don't recognize the wrestlers on the show, they recognize the name WWE and TNA. They think, oh, we must take this seriously because those are two big companies.
Ok. Kevin, tu as besoin de rajouter une question?
Non, non.
Joe, you tell us and everyone watching this video, you among the 36 countries. So among the countries you visited, if the most beautiful countries you visited?
Well, I think that you can find beauty in almost all of them. I mean, like obviously, I'm from Toronto, so I have a lot of connection to Toronto, clearly, Canada.
Yeah.
I always had a great time out in Eastern Canada. I had a great time in Western Canada. Anytime I've been to the States, it's usually been a really good time. Even people say a lot of, I lean on Detroit just to bug Rhino. But truthfully, I've always had a great time in Detroit. I always have a wonderful time in France, to be honest. There's this kind of fairy tale out there that, the French people hate everybody else and they're rude if you don't speak French. Yeah, I've been to France 62 times and I have never had a bad experience. That whole fairy tale is a complete lie. I've always had a wonderful time in France. Japan is always beautiful. Kuwait and Israel and all these Middle Eastern countries, Iraq. When I've been there are nice parts and there are not so nice parts. I mean, the desert is a pretty interesting place. Even if you don't care for the architecture or something, there's still beauty to be found. Nigeria, those jerks still owe me money. And it was a pretty bad experience overall being in Nigeria, but meeting the actual people who aren't in control, because everybody in control is corrupt. But everybody who's not in control, just the regular people, were lovely, nice people. And, we got out into the kind of jungle areas, and that was really neat to see. So I'm able to try and find beauty in wherever I go because I just don't want to be miserable. So I seek out the beauty just so I'm not.
Ok. Kevin, tu veux rajouter quelque chose ou il a tout dit?
Non, franchement, il a bien détaillé. Ouais, prochaine question.
Okay.
J'ai une question, mais je la passerai après.
The last question begins the question of the end of this interview. Among
Attends, j'ai une question. Ouais.
among all the experience that you have acquired in your legendary career, now you are just a wrestler. Now you are a wrestler and the wrestling legend. Now a teacher, man, and we're able to learn from your experience, and it's incredible how easy you allowed us to move forward and progress with Tarek and othering. What are your objectives?
Well, my objectives with Ozering and all that stuff with you guys, I want to try and build the French wrestling scene up as much as my contribution can make. I mean, I'm not French, even though I'm Canadian. I don't really speak any French. I've forgotten all the stuff I learned in school years ago, but I'm old too, and I just haven't used it. But what I want to do is I want to make the French talent viable. I want to make French talent huge, like worthwhile and stars. Not just here's another wrestler, but here's a star. There's a million wrestlers. There's 100 jobs. You want to make sure that you stand out. I want to make sure that the guys I teach are stars that are, no matter what you do in the ring, they want to pay to see you and then see you do cool stuff and not just see the cool stuff you do. Because you should be the star over even your moveset. I'd love to build the industry in France nice and big. Again, it was when I used to come in for ICWA ages ago, we were drawing big crowds. And then for some reason, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden the whole business stopped. While I was still coming in regular, everything was fine. And then I stopped coming in, and I imagine I stopped coming in because the money was tighter, and they got to pay for airfares and hotels and all that for me. But for some reason, the business dropped off, and I'm not sure why. I know that Flesh Gordon still does stuff. There's a few other promoters who do stuff. I'd like to take one company, like with Ozzer, and build it up to be like a French national promotion with French national superstars that are recognizable. You walk down the street, people know you. I'd love to get it back on TV. And let the world take notice, because there's a lot of good athletes in France. I mean, there's guys like Tristan Archer and stuff like that who solid French talents. Really,
The French Revolution.
Yeah, people aren't, because it's not on TV, people aren't really able to see just what talent you have available to you in France. So I'd like to help build it up where people can't ignore it. It's too good to ignore. And have the industry thrive in France one more time. If I can have a hand in doing that, then my contribution for the duration of my career to be able to rebuild the business in a country, I'll feel I'm validated for my contribution to the business.
Okay. So how many best French superstar we have? Senza Volto, the French sensation.
Oh, he's a nice guy, yeah.
We have White Eagle, the Royal Hunter. We have
Napoleon, Louis Napoleon.
Louis Napoleon, yes.
Yeah, Louis Napoleon.
He's quite good.
Yeah.
He needs more attention than he's getting. He's quite
He wrestled in Japan also.
Yeah, Michinoku, I think.
Yeah, Louis Napoleon's wife, Shanna.
Well,
Shanna in AEW now.
AEW, yeah. So that's good for her. Even though she's the Portuguese perfect athlete or something, Mr. Gamer. So she's kind of pushing the Portugal flag, but she spends a lot of time in France. She lives in France.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's definitely somebody you could build a lot of, at least your female division of a company around, if not your whole company around. She's talented.
Yeah. So, so did you enjoy the show?
Oh, absolutely. I always like hanging out with you guys and talking with you. It's cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Kevin, tu as quelque chose à dire à Joe avant que cette interview se finisse, malheureusement.
Thank you for your interview and your advices.
My pleasure. I hope everybody comes to the Aussie Ring School. Push
Okay.
the help Aussie Ring School on. If anybody wants to train to wrestle, I'll do my best to make you a star. It's as much your effort as it is mine, but I'll do everything I can to help.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you for everybody teach you have been of me and Kevin and every single one of the young wrestler if this seminary.
Oh, my pleasure.
So
My pleasure. Everybody works hard. I like it.
so thank you for this interview, for your interview of Joey Legend. I opened the book and you closed it.
Huh. The Book of
So
Legend, yes.
yeah, the Book of Legend, yeah.
Ah,
So man, mes amis, merci à tous. Je vous invite. Bon, il a quand même dit des noms importants, les amis. Donc, il a quand même dit Edge, Christian, Rhino, les amis. Donc, déjà, ça fait déjà 3 gros noms importants. Il a rajouté un peu plus tard dans la vidéo Tristan Archer. Donc, comme quoi même la France ne fait plus de secrets pour les légendes du catch, n'est-ce pas, Kevin?
Bon, Critch, je me demandais qu'on pourrait lui demander quand sera son prochain séminaire, pour ceux qui veulent savoir.
Ouais, très bonne question. Ah, vas-y, donc je te laisse l'honneur de lui demander.
So Joe, for the viewers that will watch the
Be
video,
in your seminary.
when will be your next seminary?
I believe it's March 7th.
March 7, okay.
Les amis, ça sera le 7 mars prochain, les amis. Donc, ça sera en partenariat avec Tarek et Joe et Legend Ozering le 7 mars prochain pour un nouveau séminaire de 10 heures avec la légende canadienne du catch, Joe et Legend en personne. Il va vous apprendre tout ce qu'il peut vous apprendre, toute sa carrière, toute son expérience, tout ce qu'il a pu apprendre lui-même en fait, lorsqu'il était, on va dire, à votre âge. Et puis, il va essayer de, même quelqu'un qui n'a jamais fait de catch auparavant, il va essayer de lui donner un bon niveau. Donc c'est très dur parce que pour certains qui ne savent pas faire une roulade, par exemple, et ben, s'il est capable de vous faire réussir ce qu'à l'entraînement vous ne réussissez pas, c'est là où on peut reconnaître l'expérience. Voilà. Donc voilà. Rendez-vous pour ceux qui n'ont pas d'école de catch et qui peuvent se permettre d'aller ailleurs. Franchement, allez-y. Je vous conseille, on l'a fait. Il n'y a rien à craindre. 10 heures, ça paraît long comme ça. Mais quand on est bien coaché, comme avec Joe, il n'y a rien à craindre. Franchement, il est très sympa avec nous. Il nous explique les choses calmement. Il n'y a vraiment rien à craindre. Thank you for your attention.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. So, Kevin, tu veux dire quelque chose d'autre?
Non, je peux continuer. On ferme le livre des légendes.
I I opened the book of legends, so I will close in with Joe and Kevin. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, WW Report. Thank you, Joe. So, l'émission touche à sa fin, les amis. Vous le savez. Likez, commentez, partagez, abonnez-vous. Like, comment, subscribe. And
share it.
les amis, restez comme vous êtes, car oui, aujourd'hui, soyez vraiment, vraiment, comme dit celui que la phrase où je vais citer, il va se reconnaître. Soyez vraiment fiers d'être fan de catch, les amis. Franchement, c'est un métier en or. Et aujourd'hui, je réalise que j'ai de la chance de faire partie de ce système, de ce métier. Donc, merci à vous. Gros bisous à vous tous. À la suite, au prochain numéro.